Nyck de Vries' dismissal from Red Bull Racing has shed light on the true nature of the sport, highlighting the immense challenges of not only breaking into Formula One, but also maintaining a position within it. Nyck's journey serves as a stark reminder of the harsh realities of the industry. It appears that the Dutch driver may take some legal action. Could this ongoing saga finally come to a resolution? Stay tuned as we delve into Nyck's response to his sacking from Red Bull Racing and uncover what Red Bull boss Horner and other F1 drivers have to say about this. Brace yourselves, because it may not align with our initial expectations. It all began when Nyck de Vries, a rising star in the world of motorsport, found himself unexpectedly let go from his team AlphaTauri. The news sent shockwaves through the racing community, leaving fans and pundits questioning the reasons behind this surprising decision. Owing to Nyck de Vries' dismissal from AlphaTauri, there were allegations suggesting that he had made inflammatory accusations. However, Nyck's manager, Guillaume Le Goff, strongly refuted the validity of these comments and indicated that the de Vries camp is contemplating legal action against those responsible for spreading such claims. Since his departure from AlphaTauri, Nyck has chosen to remain silent publicly, refraining from providing any official statements. However, the social media realm was abuzz with recent Twitter posts implying that Nyck has asserted being promised a seat at Red Bull for the 2025 season, along with insinuating that Lewis Hamilton has been unjustly deprived of the 2021 World Championship. Nevertheless, Nyck's manager, Guillaume Le Goff, vehemently denied these allegations and hinted at the possibility of taking legal measures against the individuals who spread such rumours. Nyck has refrained from engaging in discussions with anyone since news broke about his AlphaTauri departure. It is important to clarify that these reports are entirely fabricated and defamatory. Le Goff emphasised in an interview with F1 Insider. He also revealed that Nyck would be issuing his first public statement since leaving AlphaTauri later in the week. In the course of this week, an official statement will be released by Nyck. Until then, we still have a few matters to sort out, Le Goff added, indicating that there are ongoing discussions and preparations taking place behind the scenes. Adding to the intrigue, the day after his dismissal, Nyck de Vries was spotted engrossed in conversation with Toto Wolff, the team principal of Mercedes, at a cafe in Monaco. The significance of their meeting and the topics discussed remain shrouded in mystery, leaving fans and pundits alike speculating about potential future endeavours and collaborations involving Nyck. Christian Horner, the team principal of Red Bull Racing, has provided insights into what he believes went wrong for Nyck de Vries, the departing driver from AlphaTauri. Horner also disclosed the timing of when the Dutch racer was informed about his replacement by Daniel Ricciardo. Nyck de Vries, who previously served as Mercedes reserve driver for 3 seasons, joined AlphaTauri at the beginning of this year. This move came after his impressive substitute appearance with Williams at last year's Italian Grand Prix, where he secured a 9th place finish. However, throughout much of the season, Nyck struggled to match the performance of his teammate Yuki Tsunoda, failing to score any points in the first 10 races. Addressing the situation on the F1 Nation podcast, Horner shared his perspective. It was becoming increasingly challenging for Nyck de Vries, Horner explained. However, there were high expectations placed on him due to his extensive experience as a driver, despite his relative inexperience in Formula One. There was a general sentiment that Nyck wasn't quite meeting the mark. So the question arose, what are the options if we were to make a change? From a Red Bull Racing standpoint, the most intriguing option for me was to see how Daniel Ricciardo would perform. Hence, that was the decision we made. Everything happened swiftly, and here he is for the Hungarian Grand Prix, Horner added. When questioned about the timing of Nyck de Vries being informed about Red Bull and AlphaTauri's decision to move on from him, Horner revealed it all occurred a bit faster than anticipated, considering we hadn't completed the test. Helmut, Marco, spoke with Nyck as he was the one who had recruited him. The conversation with Nyck took place around lap 11 of the test, if I recall correctly. Nyck de Vries was one of 2 Dutch drivers on the grid this season, alongside Red Bull driver Max Verstappen. Horner also addressed whether they had contemplated allowing Nyck to participate in his home race at Zandvoort in August before replacing him. "It's a very challenging situation. That would have meant keeping him in the car until after the summer break," explained Horner. "The situation was clear. The question was, why wait? If we had to make a change, we might as well proceed and give Daniel 12 races to showcase his capabilities." Despite Nyck de Vries' dismissal from AlphaTauri, it appears that his racing career may not be halted for long. Already, plans seem to be in motion for him to secure a new race seat for the 2024 season, ensuring that he'll soon be back behind the wheel in a familiar environment. Nyck's journey took a turn when Helmut Marko, Red Bull's motorsport advisor, ran out of patience with the Dutchman following the British Grand Prix. With no points to his name after 10 races, it marked the end of the road for Nyck in Formula One. As a replacement, Daniel Ricciardo was called upon to finish the season, starting with the Hungarian Grand Prix in July. While Nyck de Vries is expected to remain without a full-time race seat for the remainder of 2023, it appears that he'll make a comeback in 2024, potentially returning to a realm he's well acquainted with. Having previously been signed to AlphaTauri from Mercedes' Formula E team, which disbanded at the end of 2022, Nyck is now rumoured to be making a comeback to the all-electric series in 2024. According to reports from The Race, Nissan's Formula E outfit has expressed interest in securing Nyck de Vries for the upcoming season, which would result in Norman Nato leaving the Japanese manufacturer. The news comes just days after Nato achieved an impressive result at the Rome E-Prix, securing the team's first podium finish of the year. As a result, Norman Nato is actively seeking a new seat in Formula E, while Nyck de Vries may face competition for the vacant role at Nissan from former Mahindra driver Oliver Rowland. Meanwhile, the current Nissan ace, Sasha Fenestraz, is set to be replaced by the manufacturer, further adding to the potential reshuffling in the Formula E landscape. These developments indicate that Nyck de Vries' racing journey is far from over. Despite his departure from AlphaTauri, he's poised to make a comeback in the 2024 season, potentially finding a new home in the all-electric realm of Formula E. The stage is set for a thrilling continuation of Nyck's racing career, and fans eagerly await further announcements and confirmations regarding his future endeavours. Stoffel Vandoorne, the reserve driver for the Aston Martin F1 and former Mercedes Formula E teammate of Nyck de Vries, has come to the defence of his fellow driver. Vandoorne acknowledges the challenging circumstances faced by drivers in Formula One, particularly when they find themselves in a car that is underperforming. He recognises that it's not uncommon for Red Bull to bid farewell to drivers mid-season, stating that it often goes that way. Nyck de Vries made his Formula One debut at Monza last year, stepping in to replace Alexander Albon at Williams. He made an immediate impact, securing a 9th place finish and 2 points, capturing the attention of several teams in the F1 paddock. The 28-year-old Formula E champion eventually secured a seat at AlphaTauri, hoping to make his mark there. Unfortunately, his Formula One adventure with Red Bull Racing's sister team came to an end after just 10 races. According to Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko, the decision was primarily driven by a lack of speed and development from Nyck. "We had expected him to perform at least on par with Yuki Tsunoda this year, but that wasn't the case," explained the Austrian. Stoffel Vandoorne, speaking to Belgian broadcaster RTFB, expresses his support for Nyck de Vries and recognises the challenges of Formula One. "Unfortunately, this is often the case in Formula One," Vandoorne states. "Either things are going very well or they are going very bad." Nyck did not score any points in his 10 races for AlphaTauri, but Vandoorne points out that even Tsunoda, with only 2 points, struggled to perform well in the AT04. "I think everyone had high expectations for Nyck, but the car simply did not perform. It makes it very difficult to stand out," shared the Belgian DS Penske driver. Nyck de Vries is not the first driver to bid farewell to the Red Bull training team abruptly. Sebastian Buemi, Jaime Alguersuari, Jean-Eric Vergne and others have experienced similar fates. Vandoorne acknowledges the nature of Red Bull's decision-making process but remains optimistic about Nyck's future. "Unfortunately, he's gone through a tough period. We know how things work within the Red Bull camp. It often unfolds this way. However, Nyck is a great guy and I believe he will find another opportunity in motorsport." As for Nyck de Vries himself, he's not yet responded to his early departure from AlphaTauri, leaving his future plans uncertain. One potential avenue for him could be a return to Formula E, where he was crowned the world champion in the 2020-21 season. Additionally, his impressive performance during an IndyCar test in early 2022 has garnered attention, and there appear to be available seats in the American Racing Series. The upcoming period will shed light on the direction Nyck de Vries chooses to take in his motorsport career. And there you have it. The enthralling saga of Nyck de Vries continues to unfold, captivating us with each new chapter. We eagerly await Nyck's official statement, where he'll have the opportunity to share his side of the story. Rest assured, we'll be there to bring you the latest updates and developments. Share your thoughts and comments down below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video informative and engaging. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to our channel and enable those notifications so you never miss a moment of the action. Until next time, keep the racing spirit alive and continue chasing your dreams on and off the track. See you soon.